Hi, I'm Annette Pasternak, also known as the Stop Skin Picking Coach, and I'm here today with Stacy from California.
Hi.
Hi, and Stacy was one of my clients. We figured about almost 3 years ago she started the
Yeah.
coaching program with me. We're going to talk about that and what's how her picking developed and how she stopped and how she's doing now. Because I haven't spoken to Stacy in probably 2.5 years now.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah. All right. So tell our viewers a bit about yourself and how you got into this picking behavior. And
Yeah.
yeah, tell just a little story up until you looked for me, I guess, or
Yeah.
looked for
Yeah,
help, I should
I
say.
guess it started I guess it started in high school, like around the time that I was sort of experiencing acne for the first time and just seeing all that stuff popping up. And it just sort of after that, even when I wasn't experiencing that sort of breakout, it still was continuing where I would like search for that I don't know, release or something. It was, I think I could link it to stress or if I wasn't sleeping well or not eating as well. And it was like a way to, I don't know, I mean, along the way with you, we had sort of talked about it was almost like a self inflicted punishment, which, I mean, we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, it was just, it started to be a real like compulsive thing where I didn't even, it was involuntary really. Like I didn't even realize I was doing it and it would get out of control until I realized like, what did I just do to myself? And it was sort of alarming. Um, and yeah, it just continued as I got older and, life gets stressful and you're questioning yourself and your decisions and everything. It just got worse and worse. It just became this really bad negative spiral for me. And it was a way to sort of like take out my stress on myself, maybe,
Hmm.
or, of not feeling good enough or not feeling like I was doing the right things or successful or all that stuff. So I feel like I hit sort of like a rock bottom with it where I just was like, what is this? I didn't know I could identify it as something. So then I started just this deep dive on Google and found all these forums where I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. So that was really comforting. And then that's what led me to you. And I was like, wow, if I could really seek out help with somebody who specializes in this could be a total game changer. So that's how I found you. And I'm so glad.
Great. I'm so glad too. So, all right. So, like, what was it like for you, the coaching program, and what were some of the things that you felt made the biggest difference as far as what you learned or what changes you implemented or what you discovered about yourself? I
I,
don't know.
yeah, I think it was, I mean, the major thing was like identifying it. I feel like that was like this huge step to like talk about it
Mm.
with somebody in an honest way, because it was sort of like I felt like it was something that was like in the shadows. I mean, only people that I had very intimate relationships with knew about it. But it was nice to like kind of open up about it, and that felt like that was like the first step to getting moving forward from it. But
Mhm.
I think the exercise that really resonated with me because it was so sort of, I don't know, it just kind of put it in my face was like you had me do like a log of like every single day I wrote down, like my behaviors and sort of like, on a scale of 1 to 10 of like how kind of severe it was each day and maybe what brought it on, like just little notes about maybe like how I could track it. So that kind of put like I don't know, it just helped me understand what was happening. And it gave me accountability because I was like, it gave me like a sense of, I don't know, not like competitive, but it was like, I was like, oh, I don't want to get a high number today. Or,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It was sort of like I felt more in control of it, I think, with that. And then that was a huge turning point too. It was like, okay, this can be something that I I feel myself coming to, and I can choose to stop it, which was like a huge thing, because I feel like, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I'm cured, I never want to do it anymore. I do want to do it, but it's more of like, okay, I have more tools to identify the behaviors and the stuff that leads up to it, and then say, oh, I don't want to do that. You know, I feel more in control of the behavior, which was like a huge shift.
Yeah, that's great. So cool. All right. So the logging was, yeah, the big
The
thing.
logging was really, yeah,
Looking at,
that's the one that, I mean, I'll still do it like now
okay.
if I just feel like I just need a little bit of that accountability,
Mm-hmm.
you know, post coaching, because I knew, you know, now I'm not like, oh, well, I'm going to talk to Annette, you know, so
Right.
it's like I have to do that for myself. So the log is like something really tangible that I feel like I can still implement.
Yeah.
Too. But also like the visualization, like exercises we did were
Uh,
really helpful, that I still feel like I can kind of lean on if I need
Great.
to, if I'm really stressed and feel like maybe I'm kind of sliding,
Cool.
slide back.
Yeah.
Backsliding.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that there was one thing that you were ingesting sometimes that you noticed was the root of your anxiety. Am I thinking of you?
Was oh, well, we did some like where we took things out of my diet, like we
Yeah.
did caffeine, we did wine,
Yeah.
or like alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And I did notice a difference there as well.
That's what I remembered.
Yeah,
Yeah, that like alcohol was pretty much causing a lot of anxiety for you, right?
yeah, yeah. So I feel like, and again, that was such a good exercise to like take it out and see the changes.
Yeah.
And like, you know, again, to this day, like I can say that, like, oh, that's something I can take
Control.
out, you know,
Hmm.
and see that
Yeah, and
change.
it wasn't like you're drinking a lot either. It
No,
was like one glass
well,
of
you don't
wine
get
at night, and then the next morning would be really anxiety
yes,
producing, or just like would you would have a lot of anxiety the next
right, and
day.
because it affects your sleep too. Like if you,
Right.
you know, and like it's not at that restful sleep. So yeah,
Yeah,
that would
definitely.
definitely just wake
Okay.
up in that state. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
is there anything else that you remember that, made a
Um,
particular impact?
you know, I feel like I I just learned so much about where the behavior was coming from, like on a much deeper level too.
Hmm.
I mean, like I said, it's nice to know that I can like control the sort of physical behavior itself, but talking about, I mean, you kind of like opened my eyes to like it, you know, potentially being like kind of something that was passed down, and then we kind of
Hmm.
linked it to like a certain relationship in my life, like
Hmm.
too, which it just kind of really helped me, because I'm still working through that relationship, and I feel
Okay.
like the picking was like one way of sort of like protecting, trying to do something about it, or doing something to myself, or
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if it was protecting or, like I said, punishing something. There was something
Oh, yeah. So can
deeper
you
there.
clarify that? Because that's kind of, I would say, like in a more minority of people that either feel like they're punishing themselves or, I mean,
Yeah,
people do feel that way, but
yeah,
it's usually like we all think of it as just like soothing ourselves usually rather than
right.
punishing.
I
So,
remember kind of, yeah, I remember that, and I do feel like I did have like a release, but it was like sort of bittersweet. You know what I mean? It wasn't like this high for me personally.
mhm.
It was more of like maybe this like high that was really coupled with like kind of like a heaviness, where I felt like, yeah, I was taking like guilt out on myself, or taking,
Okay.
I don't know, just, and like I said, in this strained relationship with my dad that I've had my whole life, it's like there was something there that, where I felt not good enough, or like I couldn't, you know, and it was sort of maybe like a self-sabotaging, punishing thing.
Okay.
That was, we talked about linking it to that
Yeah,
relationship.
wow.
So that was like really eye-opening. And like I said, I'm still working through all that stuff.
Sure.
But I like the picking itself has really, it's not been something that I like cling to in that sense anymore at all.
Yeah. Did we do the timeline? Is that one of like the releasing emotions? Okay.
Yeah, we
The
did.
releasing the old emotion stuff. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was really huge.
Yeah, so for some people that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Overall I just feel like I really do feel, I mean, again, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm totally cured, I never even think about doing it anymore, but it's the fact that I feel free from, like, I don't feel like it's out of my control anymore.
Right. Wonderful.
And I just feel more confident, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, for me personally, it was, you know, on my face. So, and you're always out there with your face. So
yeah, and you look amazing.
Confident. Thank you. And I'm an actor, which we talked about that a lot too. And I feel so much more comfortable on camera, and you know, all that is linked into it too. So
yeah, definitely. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and talking to my viewers about this. I'm sure they all appreciate your honesty and sharing.
Well, I appreciate you so much. I just am so grateful to have found you, and for our coaching experience. It was really a game changer for me.
Contact me through my website if you're interested in coaching, and I have free resources there as well. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.